guys, I'm Rebecca from Beccascreations and welcome back to a brand new video, guys. And this is a brand new Sims 4 build. I've got 2 in a row again this week. Sorry guys, I've been on a bit of a build craze. But yes, this is actually a challenge. It's a challenge. It's a shell challenge. If you guys have not heard of those, basically you get given a shell and you have to fill it in and make it look glamorous and beautiful. Now the shell challenge I'm doing is by Bethlesims. I'm a huge fan of her. She does tons of Disney Sim stuff like I do. I watch a ton of her videos. I'm really invested in her Disney Princess Apartment series and her Star Wars series. They're both very good. So if you haven't checked out her channel yet, be sure to check it out. It's down in the description box down below. But anyways, as soon as I saw this shell on her Twitter, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to try this. It literally already looks like a castle already. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go for it. So yeah, and in shell challenges, if you guys didn't know, there are a few rules. You can use any packs. Generally, you're not allowed to use CC for these. You can add balconies, fountains, and change wall heights, but you can't change the wall. So basically, you can do whatever you want, but you just can't add onto the wall. You can't add more walls like that. That's the rule. In my build, I did twist it a little bit, like I added like a pool attached to the front of the house. Like I'm not really sure if I was cheating or not at the front. I'm sure I'm fine. So I didn't actually change the wall itself. I just added stuff onto the building, but didn't actually change the building. Like my mindset was, if I don't actually change the wall, but if I add something onto the wall, it's different, right? I don't know. I guess the person in charge of the challenge can be the can be the judge of that. Bethany can tell me if I did change the house a bit too much, but I tried my best. I didn't change any of those walls. And this build, let me actually go into the build part. This build is called Ravishing Pink Castle. I thought I tried to think of a better name, but I'm terrible at Sims builds names, and I know I wanted to call it a pink castle because it is a pink castle, and I wasn't sure how to describe it. So, as silly as this sounds, I asked Google what good describing words are there to describe a pretty castle, because I'm not going to call my video Pretty Castle. What sort of Sims build video is that? I'm building the Pretty Pink Castle. So yeah, I've called it the Ravishing Pink Castle. It reminds me of Love Sleeping Beauty's castle, which is why I went for it. I think it came off super nicely. I don't have tons of detail in this build. I kind of went quite simple because I wanted to make this house a house you can kind of use generally like all the time as well, like in your Sims games. I didn't try to make it to have too many objects in it or anything, so it's like playable for you guys at home as well. I think this shell worked out super well. I gotta say though, the roofing was very, very difficult in this build, so I ended up literally just only roofing half the build and just doing like an open sort of patio area on the roof at the back. You can't actually access that area, but if you guys want to access the roof area, then you guys can always add a door on the 3rd floor. And yes guys, there was a lot of flaws in this build. And yes guys, this build took me approximately 8 hours to do, so yeah, it did take me a long time. It's on the gallery as well, which is called Ravishing Pink Castle Build, and it's underneath the hashtag Bethlesims Shell Challenge. But yeah, I am generally really proud of this build. I didn't change anything and it still came out pretty well. I came across a couple of problems, like the roofing was a bit difficult, like I said, and it clipped a lot with the inside of the build. I'm not sure why, but I've tried my best to get it as good as I can. But yeah, I'm generally pretty proud of how this turned out. A lot of hours went into this build, but I generally am quite proud of it, and I hope you guys like it too. And yeah, anyways guys, I hope you guys enjoy watching the build, and yeah, remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you all real soon. Bye!